And guys, we are live. This is Crypto Talk Now. We're live with Max and Larry. We do have a special guest, sir, not appearing on this camera right now, and that is Patches. He's on strike. We have Patches the dog. I guess he didn't get enough TREATSs. If I say that, he's going to go crazy and jump up on me. But people were asking, or I was asking, if there's possible. I had my friend come over, Johan. He handles all the tech work. And I said, we should set up a little cam for Patches just in case anybody wants to see what he looks like if he decides to join us. And since we're talking about dog meme coins a lot, he might be interested in hearing what we have to say. So I thought it might be like a little funny thing to show once in a while. And so I hope everyone's doing well out there. And with that, how are you doing today, Max?
I'm trying to do okay. I've been having problems with the allergies and so on, but nonetheless, I'm fighting through it. And I think, I'll just take my mind off of it, and we'll talk about some crypto talk. And happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Shout out to my mom who's in heaven. I love and miss you very much. Think about you all the time. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
That was nice, Max. Yeah, sorry to hear about your mother. It's always nice to remember moms if they're not still with us on a day like today. And that's something that I forgot. I meant to come on and wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. And if you are watching out there, and you are a mother, we appreciate the mothers, the daughters, the nieces, the aunts, all the ladies in their life, girlfriends, wives. You're all appreciated out there, especially the mothers on a day like today. So I hope all of you are enjoying your Mother's Day. Thank you for spending a couple hours with us here today, hour and a half or so. So we've got a lot of different things to talk about. And before we do, I just want to make quick announcements here. If you guys have never joined us before, this is the Max and Larry show on Crypto Talk Now Live. As we mentioned, we go every single night, Monday through Friday. We start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on the weekends, we start at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now, I can't guarantee you that our special guests will be here all the time, but we're going to do a little bit of an exit poll at the end of the show and see if people want to see Patches come, because right now I wouldn't say that he's being a little camera shy, but I think he's just on strike because he wants another TREATS. I can't say the word. He'll jump up on my lap. And, he's 96 pounds, so we don't want that to happen. I'll fall off the chair or something crazy. So we're going to get into talking about crypto. We're glad that you joined us. Let's shout out to a couple people that are regulars. I'm going to put the banner up here so nobody knows, no one's given financial advice. Patches is not giving financial advice for sure. But we want to give a shout out to Common Sense. I appreciate you following me on Twitter, Common Sense. Guys, the links are in the description. Follow Maximus. Follow Max here at his YouTube channel. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. Everything's in the description. Shout out to Mrs. NFT Queen. Thanks, guys. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you, Mrs. NFT Queen. And soon it's going to be Father's Day. So shout out to Mr. NFT Queen. I hope that Mr. NFT Queen is doing well. I did see him a lot on Teddy's stream the other night and got a kick out of that. So that was fun. And then Maximus is saying, been gone for 3 years, but thank you. So that's nice that our audience is sensitive to us as people. And thanks. Let's see what else we've got going on here. I lost my mom 10 years ago. It sucks. Max, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to hear that, Mrs. NFT Queen. Our mothers are, and to me, ladies in people's lives are very special. They can really be an important part of people's lives, and it's sorry to see them pass on. But we got a great show for you tonight. It's kind of like 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here, and what we'd like to talk about is some different things going on. But first, it's that part of the show where we play a little bit of a guessing game, because we got to test Max's guessing skills, and eventually maybe he'll guess it. I think we can turn this segment into eventually a little contest for the audience. So what we're going to do today is we're not going to give away any crypto because there's not very many people here. But eventually what we'll do is we'll let everyone guess, and whoever guessed first, if you're able to guess before Max is, or if Max is asking me something, you guess first, you put it in the comment section and Max won't look at it. But if you guess first before Max does, then you're going to win some crypto. We'll do something like that. And then just a shout out again to Jack. Jack says moms are important. Larry in the house. Okay, we appreciate you, Jack. We had a great debate yesterday. This is what we want here. We don't want, necessarily cheerleaders here. It's great to have cheerleaders of the show or whoever it is. People like Max more than me seems to be what's going on. But I mean, that's great. You can disagree with us is what I'm trying to say.
We'll have to do a poll on Twitter on that or something. So I don't know about that.
There you go. So let's jump over to the screen. Look at really quickly. We're going to play the guessing game, but the market, is down 3.5%. Bitcoin is in a scary territory to me. I'm not really looking at the chart. I'm just looking at the price, down 3.7%. But jumping over to crypto bubbles, we'll come back and talk about the market in a second. And Max has a bunch of things he wants to talk about on the crypto calendar. But let's talk about the overall market. But not only that, you have to play a little bit of the guessing game with me. And you have to try to guess which crypto in the top 100, Max, I purchased this time. In the middle of the night, I'm looking at things that are down, and I'm being a little more conservative. I'm trying to move out of some of these community-based tokens. I won't mention any names because I don't want to get people upset. But, I'm trying to get a little conservative with the portfolio because it's a scary time. And I'm not overly scared, but I'm being cautious. So what do you think, Max? What did I buy? And if you guys know, drop in the comment section and see if you can beat Max to it. You get three guesses.
All right, I'm gonna say Zero.
You did? You
Chronos.
said it?
Chronos.
You got it. Yep. I bought more Crow.
Yep.
I bought it around.
First time. Oh yeah. No, all right. Sorry.
I bought it around 26 cents this time. My dollar cost average, or bought the dip, or whatever you want to call it. And Patches is mad at me. I don't know if he's not a fan of Crow. He'd rather see me buy Doge or something like that, or Shiba Inu, because at least it's a dog, and then him being a dog. So I would imagine he'd like one of the.
You can train for that. Every time you mention a certain Inu, he just gets all super excited or something. Anyway,
when I said Inu the other day, he came flying in here. So apparently Patches knows that Inu means dog in Japanese. I didn't even know it until my son pointed it out. But like I said, there's a lot of people on the show that are smarter, and Patches might be one of those too. So here's Crow. Here's some of the ones of the favorites. I didn't finish adding everything to the favorites. And you can see Crow is down 6.2%. So, right now it's at 20. Well, actually, it's like 26 cents even. So without any further ado, let me ask you this, Max. Is there any other things you want to talk about the overall market, or do you want to go? Actually, Max jumped off camera for a second, but
no, I'm battling through. I apologize, guys. I'm battling through the allergies. I don't want you guys to see me constantly sneeze and stuff like that. So I'm trying to be respectful to our audience.
We got to be real. We got, if you need to sneeze forward towards the camera so we can see everything there.
Jeez. Sneeze Inu, yeah. Yuck.
Sneeze Inu. So if you don't want to talk about the overall market anymore, I don't know if we need to really get into it too much because we know what's going on. Everybody that watched this show is smart. Tell me about the crypto calendar if you want to get into that now.
Well, sure, we can definitely do that. I can go ahead and share my calendar with you since, our tech guy came over and helped you out with that. Shout out to Johan in regards to that. Give me just a second, actually.
Hey, Patches.
And while I'm doing that, actually,
come here.
Let's see. Sorry about that.
That's it.
Hey, I gotta keep in mind sometimes Larry's screen. There we go. Got it. Share screen. There we go. So, are you able to see this, Larry?
No, I'm not seeing the request come up. Unfortunately, you clicked on window, right, and then you clicked on. You have share screen. You clicked on.
Yeah.
Click on window and then click on the picture or click on the actual browser itself.
Oh, you're right. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
How about that? All
Great.
right.
It just popped up. I'm going to add it to the stream. And there you go.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
All right. So basically, guys, I got this thing that I'm I guess you could say subscribe to. It's just with Investor Place and so on. But nonetheless, I'm not paid by them in any way, shape, or form or anything like that. But they have some really cool announcements that I saw. And so, for instance, you may be into Mist, you may not be into Mist. But for instance, with Mist, the pre-alpha goes live 8 a.m. tomorrow. And basically, if you don't know about Mist, for instance, it says right here, it's a 3D open world metaverse on the Binance network. It's launching a playable pre-alpha version on May 9th to give a wider range of individuals a chance to see, what Mist is all about. You've seen some top influencers obviously cover it a while back, and I just thought it was significant because, at the end of the day, there is various games coming out that are tied in with crypto, as we know. So this is significant in regards to the Mist project. I myself, I'm not personally invested into Mist or anything like that, but at the end of the day, I do like to point out some significant dates in regards to that. Also, shout out to one of my best friends. He's my childhood friend, Foxman. He's really into the Kava project. It's also in the top 100. If you don't know about Kava, they got this thing with the cross chain going on with Cosmos and Ethereum, and it's just like the staking platform with Kraken is very attractive in regards to some of the yields you can earn on that. That again, the mainnet launch for Kava is launching on Tuesday, and just like I mentioned there with the Ethereum and Cosmos, and then of course as far as we're always talking about big expo events and so on. Like for instance, when I covered Metopolis, that was last month with the Miami event. So you got basically Blockchain Expo coming up. You're going to have speakers from Wells Fargo, Walmart, of course, big ones, Meta, and more will gather in Santa Clara, California to discuss blockchain technology developments and provide several thousand attendees with invaluable networking opportunities. But what's significant about it is I would definitely say Meta caught my eye. I mean, in reality, what all is Walmart and Wells Fargo going to say about, like blockchain technology? So, nonetheless, that's May 11th through the 12th, and that's what mainly caught my eye. We'll talk about some of these other things, such as the EOS hard fork, maybe in the next couple of weeks. And of course, they have some really cool things that pop up, like these little alerts and so on. Sometimes they're significant in my eyes, and sometimes they're not. But anyway, that's what I thought I would share with you guys in regards to the crypto news calendar. Back to you, Larry.
Cool. I mean, thank you for that. Is this something that you think we could maybe add as a regular segment so that people are aware of certain dates? Things are dropping in the crypto world. So I think that might. What do you think, Max? Do you think we could add it to a few minutes of the regular show?
Yeah, absolutely. It's significant in some regards. I mean, I again don't want to give people the false perception that, for instance, like, was it right over here? If my screen's still up for you, Kava Network mainnet launch on the 3rd. Don't be the guy or gal that has the attitude that, hey, mainnet launch, man, I got to get into this. I got to FOMO in because it's going to go to the moon, because it doesn't exactly work that way. You also got to keep in mind, like, mainnet can come out. You also have to have time for adoption to happen and so on. So these things, I would say 90% of the time don't happen the date of launch as far as price action goes. So, a lot of people, they think that, right? And it's natural if you're new and so on. Things don't work that way. So I just want to point that out.
Well, I appreciate that, Max. It's good that you have the news here, because some people come here for the news. I'm trying to get Patches to cooperate. He's kind of pushing into me. I figured if I gave him his own camera, he'd leave me alone and not try to get on my camera. But that's not working out too good. So I want to respond to what Andy Charles is saying. And again, Andy, thank you for coming here. And also, I want to acknowledge, if you want to acknowledge Ron here, I think you might know Ron. Max, is this somebody that follows the channel that you know?
Follows the channel that I know. It's called Shout Out to the DPG. Shout out to my gaming group. Yeah, of course I know him.
Okay,
We've known
cool.
each other for years. We haven't met each other in person. That's about to change, hopefully, within the next, year or two. But yeah, I've been friends with Ron here, aka Dread is his gaming name. God, I don't know. We go back to 2011, I think, Dread. So something like that. 2010, 2011. So he's been in my gaming group for a very, very long time. So, and I'm more than thankful for you coming on, man. Appreciate it, Dread. Shout out to all the DPG.
Welcome, guys, to support Max, and we love you guys over here supporting us together. So this is a good comment. I think I just lost it. So Andy Charles, I'm glad that you brought up Pixel, because it is something I've been wanting to talk about. I forgot to talk about it in the last stream because we had a lot of crazy stuff going on with Shibnobi. By the way, I'll give you guys an update on Shibnobi, and so many great things coming for the show. This is just growing beyond my wildest imagination. And I do want to talk about a few things, if I can push Patches off of me. Patches, go on your own camera. He wants to come over here. So here's the thing. I only have one concern with Pixel. I like the project. I'm being asked to test the project out, and then I'm going to share that with Max. The only problem I have is I'm concerned about the ask. I'm concerned about the amount that they're asking for in terms of ETH. I think they're asking for 1,500. Now, don't correct me on this, but I get the impression that they're asking for a good amount. Now, I'm not going to compare them to anybody else, but we have had some issues with some pre-sales where we're asking for a lot of things, and we don't know exactly. Patches, that's not a very flattering view. We don't know exactly. Patches, we need to have that view when we're talking about Phantom. All right, we're talking about Pixel now. You need to sit down. Sit down and be a good boy. Make your bed. He makes his bed. What he does is he stirs his little blanket up, and he tries to make it the way he wants it. I can never give him a bed because if I gave him a bed, he would drag it all around the house. He likes to move his blanket around the way he wants it. He's a very picky dog. And notice that he had to have the center of the screen because he does have a big ego. So here's the thing. Now, guys, Pixel, not saying anything bad about the project. You know, I know that I've been chatted a little bit with Tangi from Dallas. Many of you guys know. She's really nice. And also that guy, AKA, I labeled him Mr. NFT Queen. I've heard some good things about Pixel. I've messaged the developer. He reached out to me. I do want to hear about it, but I would like to provide my suggestion. I don't think they're going to take it. I think it's too far already set in stone. I wish that they just would lower that cap because I think they're asking for an awful lot. And I don't want to see this thing become oversold. So that's what it is. What are your thoughts on it, Max?
Well, when it comes to Pixel and all that, for instance, the way I look at, I think it was actually Common Sense, tweeted us both in regards to that. And again, I apologize to you last night, Common Sense. Man, excuse me. In regards to not get back to your tweet sooner. My attitude when it comes to the pre-sales is I'm very, very selective. I'm just going to throw that out. Very selective when it comes to it. I have to vet it like more than the average token or coin project that has been out even for, a regular launch of a month or more or whatever. Again, it's part of, like I always say, do your own research. With me doing my own research, I covered obviously Luna 1 on their pre-sale. Jeez, really sorry, guys. On their pre-sale. And, I thought, I was like, wow, this, looks really good. I'm going to get into that, for instance. But yeah, in regards to Pixel, it's just something that I personally need to look more into. I'm not saying it's a bad project. Obviously, Larry is covering it. He's been talking about it for a while. It's just, for me personally, it's just, I need to know more about it. I'm not going to even really talk much more about it other than with what Larry has to share in regards to it. So, again, it's just something I need to look more into. But, from the little bit that I did look into it, it did catch my eye. But, again, nothing significant where I could really, give a good opinion on it, if you will. So,
well, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we're going to dig deeper into it. I haven't really dug too deeply into it myself. It got my attention because it's a couple people that support our channel here. And that is, like I said, Tangi, and then also Not That Guy, AKA Mr. NFT Queen. And so they've brought it to my attention, and they're trying to, get me to get on board with it. And I do, want to talk about it. I don't have anything bad to say about the project itself. I do want to test it out, but I am a little bit concerned that we are asking for a little bit too much, because I don't know what's going to happen. Is there going to be enough people on launch that are going to want to buy into this thing if everyone's already purchased during the pre-sale? So now I'm starting to have some thoughts about Phantom, and if they could ever figure something out. Now, I won't mention the name, but I did watch a review, and I've been in talks with that person because I want to get him on the show. It looks like he might come on. He did a great job with the review. Well, I guess I could just come out and say, shout out to old man David. He's pretty big on Twitter. He has also a YouTube channel. He did a great review on Phantom, and it wasn't a paid one or anything like that. He did a great job analyzing it. I did watch most of that video, and I saw, some concerns about a main wallet. Now, if they were able to answer that concern about the main wallet and clear that issue up, and if they were ever able to start to do some marketing, they do have some nice staking rewards. But again, if people don't know about that project, it's going to be hard to get, people to buy it. I know they have a contest and stuff like that going on, but it's just, to me, it's just not enough. But I am really rooting for that project because I do know people personally that are invested. I get a kick out of the Telegram. I go in there and I see 3 people in the Telegram that are either subscribers to this channel or watch this channel. And I appreciate the support and everything, but I just get a kick out of it because some of the people that watch this channel are wondering the same thing. What's going on? Where are the devs as far as the marketing? So, again, I'm not trying to bash that project, but it just kind of pops in my mind.
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, at the end of the day, just because you're not in it anymore, you recognize, your friends, your colleagues, heck, our audience, and so on. You want, you want to root for them. You want to see them do well, even if you're not personally invested into it. We all want that. So I get what you're saying.
So I want to read this. I appreciate, again, Jack here. We don't always see eye to eye, but he makes a lot of good points. I agree with him probably half the time. And he says here, Jack says, hey, we are in crypto, laugh out loud. We love decentralized social media like Phantom. Everyone was down on crypto gaming before that market boomed. SocialFi is next. Hive blockchain did great for me. Okay, so not familiar with Hive blockchain. I can't say that I disagree with this one. If, like I said, if Phantom could ever instill a little more confidence in terms of the wallet that they have going on there with a large supply, and if they could ever just, remember they considered us a low impact channel, but we took that and ran with it. I mean, we're a low impact channel is our new hashtag, and our slogan is we're a low impact channel that's on a mission to make a big impact. So getting, full circle, just talking a little bit about it. I don't know if you want to mention. I'm going to leave it up to Max if he wants to mention who it was, but I want to kind of clean up a few things. So one of the things I want to focus on is I want to be able to use our platform, our show here, to make crypto better in general. So that means I want to turn first internally and look at myself and say, how can I be better? I think somebody's getting bored of me over here. So I want to figure out how I can get better. And the way I can do that is make sure that we vet the projects a little bit better. I'm talking about myself here because Max wasn't involved. As an example, Strange Enu, I needed to do a better job vetting it ahead of time. That's why I've been reaching out to people that have a little more experience than me with the contracts. Now, the contracts is only one side of it. We don't really know what's in the people's hearts that are talking to us, that are developers. But there's got to be a process that we can put in place to vet these people better. And I'm sure Max would agree with that. But, it's just
I will interject real quick
in
regards to that. So 2 things I'd like to point out with what you're saying. And I think at some point it's a real opportunity for a crypto project to come out with this. And maybe we can go back to me saying this. I don't know. It's not me trying to get recognition or anything like that. And I'm sure I'm not the first person to basically come up with this general gist of an idea. But at the end of the day, what's appealing is what? Blockchain technology. Being able to have a public ledger that can't be, I guess you could say, manipulated because it's completely transparent and set things basically up in which the way things are coded to not do anything crazy to try to pull a hat trick on somebody, if you will. So with that said, somebody comes out with a project or an app or something like that in the future, but I'm not talking about a low market cap token or anything like that. At some point, it's going to have to be big money involved, okay? And on top of that, it's going to be something which, like I said, it's going to be an app, and it's going to verify these projects from top to bottom to see if they're legit. Now, some of you guys may be saying as we speak, what? Max, isn't that technically veracity? And the answer is, well, the concept seems like it would be, but no. And the reason why it's no is because with Veracity, VRA? They do the whole thing with what? They do the whole thing with marketing of ads like on YouTube and so on. As we know, we don't do it on our show and our space and so on, but we realize we could, but we're not because we want the organic growth. But there's other channels and other spaces out there. They bought their channel to make it look, real. People view ads, and it's not even real people looking at ads. It's fake. But the point is, with Veracity's crypto, they try to eliminate that because they realize that there's literally millions and billions of dollars that are being lost to these marketing agencies and so on. And it's doing them an injustice and just tons of money being wasted because there's nobody actually behind the camera viewing the real ads. My point is this. You take a concept of like what they verify, right? Whether it's Veracity and so on, and you get one who will realize that this is an ongoing problem in the crypto space. People don't want to get involved in certain low cap, mean, call them whatever you want to call them, crap coins or crap token projects in which, there's ill will behind it, whether it's a Strange Eni, whether it's a Suzuki Eni, whether it's a Squid Game. You get my point. So at some point, it's going to become, somebody's going to, come on board and bigger heads are going to get together and they're going to make this thing happen. That's one thing that's definitely going to be on my radar. You want to talk about price action, whenever that project comes on board, that's going to be great. Just in closing, the other thing I wanted to point out, and this is not me just coming up with my own idea, like, hey, Max, you're giving your ideas away or anything like that. And the other thing is I come from a gaming background. And so even, Dredd, if he's still here in the stream, he'll tell you one of the biggest problems, like in Call of Duty and Battlefield and all these first-person shooter online games, is the cheating, the hacking. It's ridiculous. Somebody comes into the game, has an unfair advantage, or the guys that are legit like myself who just want to play the game the right way. At some point, if you could take a crypto project, get what I'm saying is, take a crypto project in which they use blockchain technology to do what? To scan these people to see if they got legit, system and not trying to take advantage of the system with hacks and so on. So what's that going to benefit? It's going to benefit companies like Activision. It's going to benefit companies like EA and so on. And you get something like that built. What do you think is going to happen with price action with that? You're benefiting a multi-billion-dollar, industry, the gaming industry, and it just doesn't just end there with first-person shooter games. We're talking like that can even, apply to metaverse, all of it. So that's the way I look at it personally. At some point, that's going to come on board, and yeah. Now, as far as back to what you were saying with the announcement, I don't know. You still want me to mention that with the whole,
Yeah, hold
TV?
on to that thought. We were going to talk about that just in 1 second. We are going to get to that, and we'll let you say it in a minute. But we want to just give a shout out to those that are here. We want to recognize and appreciate those. Max and I are grateful for, obviously, common sense is here a lot, and shout out to, I might be pronouncing the name wrong, Don Hell. Also, and then Critical Thinker. We're going to address each one of your. We're going to come out and address each one of your comments momentarily. But before we do that, guys, I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I want to clean up in addition to some other things. And then I'm gonna have Max tell his little story about what happened recently. So as I mentioned real quick, I'll just kind of summarize. I want to kind of band together with all the YouTubers. Max and I want to come together with everyone and try to have some sort of a protection, if you will. A coalition of people that can band together that are like-minded thinking or not like-minded thinking, but we all have one thing in common, and that's try to protect our audiences against rug pulls and scams and stuff like that. We all know that we have scam comments in the comment section and people impersonating us and all kinds of crazy stuff. So we want to come out with something to protect people. The only way you can do that is to get together offline to make sure that the bad stuff doesn't go online. So that's that. So that's one thing. But the other thing that I really want to come after, and it gets me really fired up, are these Telegram groups. Because in a lot of ways, and we'll get to Shinobi in a minute, but we'll talk about that afterwards. So it's good news with that. But a lot of ways, I'm concerned about new money coming into crypto. And many times, the Telegram group is the first opportunity somebody has to communicate with someone from the project, whether it's a dev, whether it's a mod, whether it's a community leader. And if we got people in there, acting rude to people, they might not take it very kindly, or they might just take their money elsewhere. There's a lot of projects out there. So I want to make an impact. I want this channel to make an impact on a lot of things. And then one of the things I want to do is have their Telegrams cleaned up. I think the only people that should be banned are just outright scammers, people that are literally trying to get people to send crypto to wallets for no benefit. It's just a complete scam and stuff like that. Anybody that's extreme, harassing someone can be banned. But other than that, I think it should be an open platform. Places can have rules like here. We ask people to keep the language clean and be respectful of others. But that doesn't mean that you can't disagree with everybody. So I really want to go and focus on that. Now, some projects are just so big, it's hard to control, but I have some ideas on that. So this is not just unique to one project. We see this happen every once in a while with different projects. And Max, I'm going to lead you into this. If you want to just tell your story about what happened again, because this, doesn't only happen with a couple projects. It's something that happens maybe 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 telegrams that we go into.
No, sure. So, for instance, I mean, um, I've covered, the Teddy Doge project. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times on my own channel, mainly because I saw that it caught my attention. I'm personally invested into Half Pizza, and then they basically went all in with this whole thing with the Teddy Doge project. And then when I looked more into it, I saw that they had a anywhere. I think it was like originally started off it was like a 6-chain, multi-chain cross bridge, and then they recently increased that. Everything they had with the NFTs, which makes sense because if you're in the Half Pizza, that's a huge NFT platform, which makes it super simple. Again, for like beginners with NFTs and so on, it's kind of like a point and click NFT platform, if you will. Again, really focused on the Asian market and so on, but at the same time, there was all these announcements because nothing was going on with Half Pizza, and then so they launched Half Pizza. They launched Teddy Doge, and when I looked into it more, I said, I want to get involved in something in which is going to have like a great rating on Token Sniffer. So when I saw that they had 100 out of 100 perfect score, I was like, wow, this is low risk. There's always crazy price action. It's, if anything, with swing trading, like day trading, right? It just seemed like a good play to go with. So I agree to, basically like cover it like 2 or 3 times. When I say I agree, I basically mean I myself agree. That doesn't mean I have any connection to them or, get paid by them or anything. So it's not like I, reached out to them like day one. Oh man, now I'm co-hosting a crypto show. So I'm going to reach out to these guys and shill them or anything like that. Nothing like that. It was basically, I went in there and, just basically said, hi, everybody, just like any other person, hi, everybody, et cetera, et cetera. Gave it time to kind of just talk back and forth, let them know, hey, thought it was cool about what I saw with Token Sniffer, et cetera, et cetera. And then basically mentioned, I said, we have some people from our community. It doesn't necessarily mean Larry's specific channel, but this is our community. This is our show. And so what I was basically stating, yeah, had some, people from our community that, has some questions and concerns. Cause I've had a couple people message me about Teddy Doge. And so I said to myself, well, we like to have some of these questions and concerns addressed. And, I'll get with my co-host and see if, maybe possibly, interviewing one of you guys from your community. Didn't mention anything about a dev or anything like that, which are red flags. And as soon as I mentioned the word co-host or show, boom, banned instantly. Don't want to hear about like maybe those videos did well. Those videos gave me some subscribers. Those subscribers are obviously part of your what? Your own community. How can this benefit both of us? Mention co-host, show. I'm thrown in the group of being a shiller, and that's it. And it's sad to see that. So basically, it was Teddy Doge. Yeah, I felt like I was disrespected and so on. But I'm not gonna be the type. I'm not saying that Larry is or anything like that. It's just at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not gonna harp too long on it because I get it. It's part of what comes with the territory. There's gonna be communities that are like that, and ones that aren't. Like for instance, I don't know if Larry wants to mention it with the whole thing of, we had some good reaction from Shinobi. We got that on coming up next week. But, there's the good side of it where you have people who are higher ups like Cliff Etner and so on who recognize, where their project is, or I'm sorry, where their show is small, medium, large base, and so on, but that they want to respect all communities. And I didn't see that with Teddy Doge. And it's really unfortunate because now it's like, yeah, Larry and I, we know a few whales and so on. And their attitude is, I don't care how great of a project is. If you're going to disrespect, people who are community driven and you have a community driven project, it's kind of an oxymoron in itself. So I'll bounce it back to you, Larry.
So just that was a good lead in about what's going on real quick with Shinobi. So Shinobi reached out to me. I caught the email. I did not respond to the email yet, but I do appreciate a couple things. I appreciate people from this audience going into contact through the different channels through Telegram or Twitter. They contacted the people at Shinobi, and I appreciate the people at Shinobi left me or emailed me a very professional message saying they would love to come on the show. So right now, the only reason why I haven't gotten back to them is we want to try to figure out a way to get them on the show with the schedule. We do have a lot of different things coming lined up, and I'm going to get to that in a second. I'll just first off say that Hex is coming on. Hex is coming on Monday night. So the stuff that I'm trying to do have an impact is working, because I haven't even been in a Telegram in like 3 or 4 days. But I'm asking the people from the audience, this is your show. This is the Max and Larry show, but in parentheses, it's really, your show, the audience's show, whether you're subscribed to this channel or not. If you want answers to your questions or concerns from different projects, I'm asking you to be an advocate, be a crypto talker, or whatever you want to call the people that follow this community. We haven't decided yet, right? We have to come up with something organic. Go out to the masses, go out there and talk to the people that are in these Telegram groups, and, in a very respectful way, and just say, hey, we've got some questions. And Larry and Max and Larry show on Crypto Talk Now live, right? Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. We have guests coming on starting 9:30, not every night, but most nights. And then Saturdays and Sundays, 4 o'clock, guests can come on at 4:30. Anyone's welcome to come on, even if you don't agree with us. And we like to get people come on. And these, if you come on during our live stream, there's no cost. We do appreciate donations in the form of super chats, or if somebody wants to give us crypto, that's great. And we'll use some of that to, for giveaways as well. We'll spread the love. But the thing is that, there's no excuse if you are a smaller project and you might not have the funds. Now, if you want to come back afterwards and do a dedicated AMA, then there is a charge for that, because, our time is valuable and we're trying to build up this show. So that's the reason why people can come on this particular live stream, the Max and Larry show, for free. However, it's nice to get these donations, like just a shout out to CVC, and Andrew in the communities, is a big part of that community. He's an investor. And, they donated, CVC and Andrew, they donated I think it was like $415 the other day. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we 100% agree with every little thing, but for the most part, it looks like a solid project. We'd like to have them come back on. But, I've been pulled in a lot of different directions, and same with Max. But this stuff with the Telegrams, if you have some basic questions, whether it's marketing or you want to just talk about coming on an open platform, just so that our audience can see, look, with Shibnobi, we have 800 plus subscribers here in the past from the 28 videos that I did on Shibnobi. So, I figure it's important, if people have questions, that, someone from Shibnobi come on. I didn't think it would be Cliff himself, but I appreciate that. And we'll try to make it work. And if it doesn't work for his schedule, then, someone else can come on. That's fine. But we'll do the best we can to make it work. So we've got that. We have Hex. We have a couple of strong people, or I think one person actually is coming on from Hex. So we won't reveal his name right now, but he's coming on as a surprise, 9:30 Monday night. And then, we've got a bunch of other people in the works, whether it's YouTubers or community leaders. But the only thing I'm imploring everybody out there, or encouraging everyone, it behooves everybody to go out there. If you want to really be part of a real organic show, where this show really is molded around what you want to talk about, go out to the communities. And, it doesn't even have to be a community. If you know somebody at crypto.com and they want to talk about Chronos and they want to come on here, a bigger coin, so to speak, it's actually a coin, not a token. They got their own blockchain. They can come on here too. So, we like to talk about the low cap tokens, but if, there's larger coins and tokens, we'll talk about them as well. Whatever people want to talk about, we're going to talk about. But the monkey business going on with the Telegram groups needs to stop. Not everybody is a threat. Not everybody's trying to, shake them down for any money that they have and try to, get a paid promotion. Sometimes we just have questions, and building up this show, is something that we want to do. And this is what's going to, take this channel to the next level. So there you go. Max, if you want to say any more on that.
No, yeah, you make some very valid points in regards to that. At the end of the day, it's like, these people who are basically, whether they're CMOs or they're people that are part of the, CMO staff, marketing staff, and so on, they need to recognize that, it's like every single person, you don't know their background. You don't know what they could bring to your project. That's one thing I'll be honest, I don't like about YouTube. At the end of the day, it is more of a popularity contest based on one thing, and that is subs, not necessarily views, but subs. And me and Larry are actually currently looking to this incentive from XCAD, we need to take a deeper dive into it, learn all the nitty gritty about it. But it's something that we've been looking into because of the incentives, not just for us, but believe it or not, as in viewers. I mean, how would you like to be rewarded just for watching our show? And so we need to look into that further, and we will. But just like anything, we have to put time into it and so on. But nonetheless, let's take a moment, of course, like what Larry's doing right now. He's looking at the comments. And I am also, I'm just going to state this. We really do appreciate you guys with the comments, some of your questions. How about we start off right here? I'm going to say your name is Daniel Markovich. He says, what the hell is happening at the moment with Saitama? You want to take it from there since you're more of a Saitama coverage guy? I mean, I covered it a few times on my own.
Yeah,
but
let's jump into Saitama, and I will. Yeah, sorry to cut you off there. I didn't mean to talk over you. Let's pull up Saitama's chart. We could talk about what's going on with Saitama. I believe the liquidity is unlocking soon. I haven't been following it that closely as the actual date, and I'm hoping that they jump over to a V2. But that's been my suggestion all along for a couple months now. So I don't know if they're going to do that or not. I know they have some different tokens on the platform to try to act as like a marketing wallet. One of them was the commission. I know there was State of Realty and stuff like that. I didn't get into those. But, Saitama right now is down 3.5% in the last 24 hours. Just taking a quick look here. The liquidity is at 9.33 million. The volume is 766,000. This is on Uniswap, keep in mind. But the market cap here is, what is it right here? Okay, so we're down to 296 million. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that Saitama was up as high as 4 billion at one point. Now, look, it's a double-edged sword, I always say. Appreciate the comments that are coming in. We're going to get to all your comments. Just give us some time. And I'll even circle back to the comment that Common Sense made about Phantom, about the marketing firm. But getting into Saitama here, the thing with Saitama is, let me get this off the screen so we can see Max. The thing with Saitama is this. Saitama needs to figure out a way to come up with a marketing wallet / dev wallet, because it's no secret the devs have been selling off. Even, people just discovered it. It's not like, it's not rocket science. How else are they coming up with money? They have to come up with money for liquidity for State of Mass. They have to come up with money for sponsorships. Like they sponsor the MMAs and these guys. And I'm not too familiar with some of these guys, but, they have to pay certain YouTubers. We won't name the names. We know who they are. Some of these bigger YouTubers, right? So, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm all in favor of paying the YouTubers. I hope that they pay everybody, because this is the way we get the word out. So here's the double-edged sword. I say this all the time. Saitama was like one of the best crypto tokens that you could imagine when it comes to hype and marketing. Like, they were just unbelievable. Like, we literally went to a $4 billion market cap. They paid some of the big YouTubers on the top, and the smaller guys like me at the time, even a smaller channel, followed and made videos because everybody wanted to talk about it. We were all excited, including myself. I wouldn't make videos on something, there was a time when I made 20 or 30 videos in a row about Saitama because we're all excited about how much money, was on paper. And, people learned that we kind of made a mistake, like myself. We should have taken profits, prior to that Vegas event, but we didn't know. So the hype is good and bad. So the hype gets everybody in. That's the one side of the sword, right? And the other side of the sword is this. The hype gets everybody in at the wrong time. People start to follow those big green candles. They buy in at the all-time high, and then everything crashes down, and then people get salty. They get wrecked. They lose a lot of money, or maybe not. Maybe they didn't sell off. They're waiting for it to come back. I believe that Saitama can come back. I really do. But I don't know how long it's going to take to get back towards all-time highs. Looking over at this chart, I'll change it to the 4-hour view. And I do want to, I want to be kind to my co-host here. I want to get his input. And, do you think that Saitama can come back? Number one, not to put you on the spot. And if they can come back, do you think they can approach all-time highs again, Max?
I absolutely do believe that. And that's why I haven't sold. I'm also one of those guys who refuses to sell for a loss. And again, it's not just me like, hey, I have faith to believe that, it's going to work because I'm invested into it. So it's going to work. There's a lot of that type of attitude out there. And I get that. And there's some projects where no matter how much you believe in it, that's just not going to happen. The supply and the demand isn't there. And like I've always said, when it comes to any crypto project, what makes price action the most is the supply and demand And if you have ones in which they create more scarcity with either token burns, coin burns, et cetera, or the overall supply isn't like dramatically huge compared to some other projects where they have like, you know, sextillion amount of tokens and they don't do burns. At the end of the day, it's the supply and demand. So, for instance, with Saitama, you know, we only had really one all-time high and so on. I mean, I get it. You know, first there was Dogecoin, then there's Shiba Inu, and that ended up basically becoming like the king of all kings when it comes to the meme/community-driven token projects. And then, let's face it, right after that was Saitama. Now, for me, from a learning point of view, I made a mistake. And my mistake was what? I came into crypto January of 2021. I'm not counting Bitcoin back in 2017. I'm not going to count that. I'm talking about with the altcoins and so on, right? Get really into it, the Uniswaps, all these decentralized exchanges, that type of thing. That's what I'm talking about. Real trading as far as that goes. So for me, you know, I already told the story to Larry, but I'm going to tell you guys just real quick. So for instance, with me, it was like Shiba Inu worked out incredibly well. I saw Saitama literally like, I don't know, first day of launch, second day of launch, something like that. And because I saw the Inu attached to it, I had this false perception of, I'm going to hold off on this. And I was right on the verge. I was like literally saying to myself, look, man, you should put anywhere from $2 to $5 grand into this. And I was right there. And had I have done it and took profits off the top, obviously, at the Vegas event, I would have took profits off the top because I took profits off the top of everything else. I did at least learn that. But because of the false perception of the Inu tag with it, I had a bias towards the project, right? Saying this is just another, you know, people want to make their projects because they see the Shiba Inu, and now every Inu is going to come around. And that was not a good way I looked at it. And so as a result, yeah, I came into it in a time in which I could have made good profits. Like it was roughly, I think a little bit before, you know, the Vegas event and so on. I think it was like September or something like that when I got my first bag. But my second bag came way after the Vegas event. I did buy on the dip, but still, right? That was still kind of like on the lower end of that all-time highs. It wasn't like I came right at the all-time highs, but I came in like maybe a little bit below that, right? Not where we're at right now. I wish, right? That would have been better, but like a lot of people did that. So as a result, when I did the math on it, my $2,000 investment would have been literally, if I would have cashed out on all-time highs, would have been about 20 million. And so it's like, that sucks. You know what I mean? But it's a learning experience. I can't beat myself up about it. And just like with you guys, you can't beat yourself up about stuff like that either. These things happen. We learn from it. But yeah, as far as, you know, do I believe that Saitama is going to rebound from it? Absolutely, 100% yes. I truly believe that. They got too much going on, and I like the idea that they're still innovative. People are going to bash the project. People are going to say, oh, this is a crap coin and so on. Man, they said that with Shiba Inu. Are you kidding me? I've been hearing that with Shiba Inu back when I first got into Shiba Inu, May of 2021, and we literally saw sideways action, dips down, sideways action. It was boring from May all the way up to the October 2021. And when it went up to that, man, I basically turned my 8K into 88K with Shiba Inu. And it's the most proud thing to say that I did in all crypto. And guess what it was? The same type of language that people were doing with Saitama. So it's nothing new. And for those that just come into here, if you're new to crypto and so on, you're going to see this with all sorts of projects. It's what comes with the territory. And like what Larry said, at the end of the day, you just need more people who outweigh the negative people when it comes to marketing this. Like what he was saying with Phantom. If you got like 10 people who are doing positive marketing for Phantom compared to the 3 or 4 they're giving it negative press, you just need to keep ahead of that. And it's the same with Saitama. You just got to keep ahead of that. So back to you, Larry.
Okay, I'm going to fly through these comments and answer every single one of them really fast, just because there's some older ones in here and we're a little behind with the comments. So Jack here, thoughts? I don't know anything about CAW, and I don't think that Max does either. And Akita Inu, that's an older one. I don't have too many thoughts about that. I guess we can check another time. but I'm going to move forward because there's a lot of different comments in here. So we missed that one here. And then also I wanted to point out, Common Sense says that Phantom announced a marketing firm, and I think that's great. That's a step in the right direction. But in between, it doesn't take a big marketing firm to hire some YouTubers, so they still got to do that. They can't just sit on their hands and wait for the marketing firm, because that could take some time to start to kick in. And then, we talked about Saitama, Degen Play. Definitely, there's a lot of Degen Plays out there. I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but there's just so many. It's a good reminder for people to be careful. Do your own research. Don't just jump into blah, 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 Inu. Make sure you are looking at stuff closely. So let's see here. Maximus is asking everyone to please like, comment, subscribe, and help our show, guys. Also, please smash the like button and do us a favor so we can get this out to the algorithm so people can see Patches laying on the ground falling asleep and me and Max talking about crypto. Right over here, Common Sense says, Maximus, you are right. You never know who you are talking to. Always be respectful. That comment's in reference to Teddy Doge on the Telegram. You don't know who you're talking to, because when you're talking to Max and I, you're talking to the tip of the iceberg. We represent a lot of people in this audience, whether you subscribe to the channel or not. Common Sense says, Larry, I tag the show all the time on Twitter. We really appreciate that, Common Sense. I noticed that you're like probably the #1 person on Twitter that follows the show here and also the channel, and I appreciate that. B-Rise, that's a good one. Max, what's your thoughts on B-Rise? Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not familiar with B-Rise, to be honest. I'm not going to BS you guys. I'm not going to BS the B-Rise. So
all right,
I got to look into that one.
All right, so we do have other ones to look into, but you know what? Since Common Sense is such a big part of the show, I think that B-Rise is a good one. I do have a small bag of B-Rise, and I'm just going to go in there and pull it up so that we can get Max's opinion on it real quick. I know
Ever-Rise and, Ever-Grow, but not B-Rise.
Yeah, I do have a small bag. I believe this is the one. Yeah, this is the one he's referring to. I guess that's weird. I thought that I was following them. Yeah, there are.
Oh, you know what? I do recognize that project. I just don't know enough about it.
I don't see where their website is, so that's a little bit. Hopefully, I got the right one here. This could be like somebody that's invested in it. So, if you could do me a favor, Common Sense, if you can drop in the comment section, just drop in there the link, so I know what their website is, so I can look it up. So Max says, yup, we see that you're doing all the time. We appreciate you. Thanks again so much, Common Sense. And coming down here, welcome to everyone that just joined. Please, take the time to drop a comment and let us know what you want to chat about. Let's see. Code says, what's up? Who is Patches? Patches is like, I thought he would be like the star of the show today, special guest. He happens to be my dog, and he likes to always jump in my lap at 96 pounds. I can't do that when I'm on stream. And, he just tries to knock me over, push my chair over. So I figured he needed attention. So I go and get him a camera, and he falls asleep on camera. So, I didn't go get him a camera. I already had another tablet, and we just set it up today. Shout out to Johan for setting up the Patches cam. So it says right here, what's going on, fellows? How do you guys feel about Kishu? Okay, I'm going to say real fast. Kishu Inu to me was supposed to be the next Shiba Inu, and I don't know what ever happened. I know it's probably a little flat. We can pull up the chart, but while I'm pulling up the chart, Max, take over and let me know what you think about Kishu Inu.
I never got personally into Kishu Inu. It was just, I don't know. It was something in which I guess you could say it was kind of like right around that time when I first found out about it. Was like kind of like what we're talking about with Saitama originally. So it was like, there's Saitama, and then there's like Kishu, and then I was just like, Saitama's the one that definitely stood out from the whole pack of it. And I don't know, at the time I was just like, yeah, I did well with the whole, meme/community driven projects and so on. I need to look more into maybe some of the top 100. And at the time, I'm glad I did, because I got a pretty decent bag of Chronos and ended up getting it at 17 cents. Right around the time that I was thinking about getting into Kishu, and then I turned that 17 cents into what was close to all-time highs, and I ended up cashing that out for my $1,700 investment for 10 grand, and I was glad I did that. So,
Max, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to step off camera for a couple minutes, and
sure.
If you want to talk to Common Sense about his thoughts about phantom staking, you can see the comment there. I'm going to take it off so people can see you on the screen, and we'll just go from there. I'll put you up here so people can see you. And let me just take this one here. So there you go. So if you want to just talk to the audience and address the comments coming in, guys, drop a bunch of comments. I'll be right back. I'm going to rug my connection just for a second. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
All right, so Larry will be back in just a couple minutes. So I'm going to answer some of your guys' questions. So, for instance, Common Sense says, I'm into fam heavy, so I'm staking. And then he says, I'm with Max, hold till I'm ahead. I guess you're referring to Saitama in regards to that. And that's, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, hold till you're ahead in regards to Phantom. My bad. So they were about 6 months out from development. I'm writing it out. So again, I've never been involved with Phantom and so on. I know that Larry has and so on. And that's a good way to look at it. At the end of the day, I mean, with the staking rewards, you want to come on top. That's a very good play. I do that exact play with some other projects that I'm into, in which basically, might not have much price action going. One that kind of catches my attention is BTT. Not a lot goes on with BTT. It kind of sometimes goes up and then it just doesn't do nothing for the longest time and so on. But I was going to bring up a particular subject, and that was Tron. And, currently speaking, I can't do the whole screen share at the moment. Let me see if I can. Yeah, Larry has to prove it when he gets back. But, if you guys see my tweet, basically, I look at Tron like this. I think it was like roughly January of 2021. It's like I had the opportunity to get into it was like 10 cents. And since then, there hasn't been insane price action or anything like that. But that's not the point. It's the other projects that are underneath it. And, of course, one that stood out was BTT. Not much has been going on with BTT. But what's going to state is what has been standing out for me is the US double D stablecoin. And the reason for that is because the pairing of that with what? With the Near protocol. So like I mentioned before on the previous day, I kind of touched basis on this a little bit, but in regards to Tron and the Near protocol and so on, the two paired together is tremendous. So you're going to have basically 30% APR on your stablecoin staking, and nothing out there touches that right now. The closest is Anchor at 18%. I think Larry just basically came back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
I had a little TV timeout to use the facilities, but let me just say this, Jack and Common Sense, I know you guys are both invested in Phantom, and I'll tell you what, it's awful tempting. They do have really good staking rewards. That's why I'm really pushing them to get on board with the marketing, because I'll tell you what, if I felt stronger about them marketing, boy, I would love to jump back in and stake some stuff, because they do have a strong, what looks like a good deal right now. And if you guys keep accumulating, this is not financial advice, and they ever turn things around and just get people to come in and buy, you guys are going to be in a good position. I mean, that's just my opinion, not financial advice. So let's see what Cody Core says. He's almost going crazy yesterday. I'm not sure if he was talking about me, or I'm not sure, but I kind of missed the conversation because I had to leave the studio for a moment. So let's hear. So let's, Max, I think I kind of heard in the background you want to talk about Tron. Now, do you want to share your screen, or do you want to do it on mine? I don't mind if you want to do yours. Whatever's easier for you to talk about it.
we could share my screen, or actually, you know what? That's fine. Just bring up Tron on your chart, basically. Not to really look at charts too much or anything like that, because I realize that can get kind of boring. But I will, point out a few things in regards to that. So yeah, basically, I was telling the guys earlier, Tron, what was it, like January 2021? It's like sitting like roughly around 1 penny, 2 cents, and there wasn't like a lot of price action in regards to what was going on with it and so on. But the cool thing is, like, even right now, I mean, yeah, it's at 8 cents and so on, but it's the volume, and it's not just with this, but it's also with the newly launched U.S. And I'm gonna state this again. It's not a typo or anything like that. U.S. double D stablecoin. Like I've always mentioned before, at the end of the day, you got to have some kind of exit plan when it comes to your crypto, when it comes to cashing out. And when you cash out, who doesn't want to earn interest on what they earn from crypto. At the end of the day, when you cash out, like the guy who cashes out in the lottery and so on, it's just like, he wants to, well, he should do what? Earn interest on it. At the end of the day, why go against your principles? What I'm saying. So to have 30% on a stable coin, that is amazing. That's just beyond amazing. There's nothing out there that touches that. And again, Anchor kind of comes close to that. But again, it's more technical. Me personally, I mean, Near Protocol has been something that, for instance, Investor Place mentions all the time. And like right now, I don't know if you can pull it up, Larry, but like even on USDD, it shows really significant volume going on in that. And, if you take this pairing of USDD, launch from Tron, and so on, you're going to see, if you go up to, like, for instance, the top on the search on the USDD, I don't know. I just got a feeling that Tron is going to be the one that finally makes a rally because, I mean, they really do. I mean, they really, really are due.
Let me interrupt you for a second, Max. Yeah. So I'm getting you the right screen. Can you explain where do you want me to go for the USDD?
It's just on a search where it says next to the sign up at the top.
Oh. I thought you were.
Yeah, because I mean, sometimes when I say USDD, people are like, thinking, like, what is that? Like, I never heard of that. I heard it like USDC or USDT. But yeah, this is a new thing, basically in regards to that. I mean, the original contract you're going to see is Ethereum, for instance, but it is a new thing that's basically being launched by Tron. And like even right now, I mean, at the time I posted on Twitter, I think it was like up about 30%. Yeah, it's hovering about 28%. But man, I'm just telling you, like at the end of the day, all these projects, right? Whether it's Tron, freaking Shiba Inu, Saitama, low cap, big cap, and so on, they all have what? At the end of the day, it's all about the supply and demand. But for some of them, they either get oversold or some of them become what? A pressure cooker. And it's just for me, I don't have a crystal ball or anything, but it's just I put two and two together. I look at the volume. I look at what they're doing with just that stable coin staking alone. I mean, man, big money's coming into that obviously and so on. And it's just like Tron is due to have their new all-time highs based on not just that, but they have other things going on. And it's still relatively cheap. I mean, come on, man, 8 cents. You can get it on just about any exchange out there. So I don't know. That's one I'm heavily looking at the moment is Tron. I got a real feeling on it. I really, really do. So anyway.
So we'll say hello real quick to our guest, and I'll answer a quick question. And you just said you can get it on any exchange. The quick question was, and I'm trying to find out where it was. Someone asked, where can you get Tron? And I'm missing oh, there it is right here. So he's saying, what exchanges are you getting Tron, Duhas? And I have it up on the screen here, all the big ones, Binance, Gate.io. You can see them all right here, KuCoin. You can go over to Coin Market Cap and just click on market, and it shows you everywhere you can get Tron. So good question there. We want to give a shout out to Cody Core again. Yes, Patches is my pup. And then, let's give a shout out to Sell More FUD. Hey, Max and Larry. Sell More, we appreciate you coming back. We've seen you for a few days in here, and that's great. Welcome back to the community here. And also a lot of fear and uncertainty and doubt. This market got people either buy crypto or buy crypto. Yeah, so hopefully people are not leaving. That was kind of my point in the outset, that we need to figure out, like I was saying yesterday, the money just keeps circling around. It seems to be almost the same money going from token to token to token and coin to coin to coin. And how are we going to get some new money in here? And part of that, making sure that the Telegram groups are very polite and respectful, because at the end of the day, they might be the first way that people find out, or a lot of people find out on Twitter, and the rest of the people find out on either Reddit or YouTube or Facebook and those sorts of things. So that's what's going on there. We've caught up with all the comments, Max. So I'm going to turn it back over to you and let me know what you want to keep going with Tron, or if you want to talk about something else. It's totally
I actually want to talk. Yeah, no, it's fine. I want to actually talk about something else that I feel like it's been a real buy. Me, my little inner circle of, I guess you could say, the way I look at it, as far as friends, real friends, I have like a handful of them. Especially I think I go through a lot of this after high school and so on. Your network of friends just dramatically I don't know, gets smaller and smaller. You find out who your real friends are, and so on.
Yeah.
But anyway, for a while, I've been telling them, look out for Chiliz, CHZ is the ticker symbol. If you could actually just bring that up on your page real quick. And right now, as we speak, Chiliz is just, it's dirt cheap compared to like, where it was not that long ago. Like, I think it was like about a month ago or something. Like it was like, I don't know, 30 cents or whatever. So why all the talk about Chiliz? Well, for instance, I will elaborate a little bit longer on Chiliz compared to Tron. And I will make this basic announcement in regards to this. So, for instance, like I mentioned before on a few episodes back, everybody, the World Cup is going to be coming up. And when the World Cup, comes around, there's just so many eyes on it. Let's face it. At the end of the day, with Chiliz, they had a big announcement. There's going to be a new ad that's going to be coming out. And they also snaked some new partnerships. So basically with Chiliz, they have a parent company. It's called Socios. And basically Socios created an advertisement with Italy football legend, which is, if you're into this stuff, Alessandro Del Piero. And that basically will begin airing on television nationally. Probably not here in the United States, obviously, because we're not super into soccer. But they'll be airing on May 8th. And that's basically today. So that is going on as we speak. And then also, of course, there'll be a few different countries that are going to air it. But in regards to Chiliz, they were recently added to a thing called Kobo Custody. And basically what that is it's a crypto custodian and asset management platform. And what's significant about that is it's really big up in the Asia Pacific region. And their parent company, which is Socios, also recently announced a multi-year partnership with 26 Major League Soccer clubs. So you get all these partnerships, right? And they're killing it right now. You and I may not see it here in the United States, but you got to recognize at the end of the day, soccer is technically, outside the United States, the world's most popular sport. So the way I'm looking at it is from a perspective of like how I look at crypto.com and how they've been killing it with the marketing with crypto.com. Is, you got LeBron James, spokesperson for it. It's just, they're everywhere. I don't need to go into detail about what crypto.com is doing. Here's the thing, guys. With Chiliz, I'm looking at all this stuff going on because, I pay attention to a lot of stuff that goes on outside the U.S. because I just feel like I need to. That's just me. And the way I look at it is Chiliz is focused on sports and entertainment, but their main focus is, of course, like things like, like the World Cup and, partnerships with 26, Major League Soccer clubs. So here's the point I'm trying to make. I like the crypto.com approach that they're doing. Yeah, it's not crypto.com, but the point I'm trying to make is they have that type of, marketing build up. They're doing awesome things right now and at the right time. So as the saying goes, do you want to get into Chiliz when, it's greening like all the time post or during the World Cup? No, of course not. Buying opportunities are right now. Again, not financial advice, but that is the personal plan I'm doing. I thought that was significant. I thought I would share that with you guys because, currently speaking, that's very appealing. I might wait for it to dip a little bit more because, as you guys know, the overall crypto market sucks, let's face it. But for buying opportunities, it doesn't suck. So what do you think of that, Larry? Have you been aware of Chiliz by any chance?
You just mentioned it the other day. I have heard of it. I didn't know a lot about it. I definitely, you sparked my interest just the way you're talking about it. I can tell, you're enthusiastic about it. And by the way, for anybody that's just joining us, we really appreciate you. If you're wondering what in the world we're talking about, this is the Max and Larry show on Crypto Talk Now Live. We do this every night, Monday through Friday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then also Saturdays and Sundays, spend them with us at least at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We really are grateful. This show is about you and whatever you want to talk about. Please, guys, please drop in the comment section. We really appreciate you also smashing the like button. And we've got right over here. I'm looking to see if there's any more comments. I'm scrolling down because I kind of lost my comment screen. And I don't think there's anything new coming on. But are you like if I'm like the most bullish that I'm on, Max, is crypto.com, and crypto.com is a 10 out of a 10 for in terms of how I'm feeling so bullish about it. What scale from 1 to 10 in bullish feeling, I don't know how else to describe it, are you with Chills compared to, let's say, Tron? Like Chills is a 1 through what? A 1 through a scale through 10, 10 being the most bullish. What are you on Chills and what are you on Tron?
You ever heard anybody call it chills? I like that. Anyway, with Chili's, I'm basically
Chili's.
yeah, like you know, like the chili baby bakery barbecue something. If it, hopefully everybody's seen that movie.
So what are you talking about?
I'm gonna say
I know
I'm
what you're
honestly
talking
gonna
about.
say I am a 9. I'm a 9 out of 10 on Chili's.
Chili's.
The reason why I'm not a full 10 is because crypto.com is the consistent more, you know, let's face it, the more safer play. You know, not financial advice or anything like that, but it just is in regards to all that because it's not just, you know, the U.S. market. It's everywhere. You know, heck, it's in the name, crypto.com. But I get it. They changed it to Kronos, but Chili's has just been something that's been on my back burner for a while, and it's just like, man, that's an appealing price personally to pick up a bag, and then it's just everything with Socios. I mean, and then those partnerships. I mean, 26 major league soccer clubs. I mean, you look at, for instance, what's his name he plays for Portugal. Oh, I forgot. You know, I just drew a blank. Sorry.
That's okay.
But nonetheless, I mean, it's just the top athletes alone make way more money than like NBA basketball players, for instance. There we go. Cristiano Ronaldo, for instance, like he's one of the top athletes in the world, and then this is you just got to look at it from an outside perspective. If your whole focus is just U.S. focused, you know, U.S. based, whatever, crypto or whatever, or you know, sports and all that stuff, there's a whole wide range of things out there outside the U.S. that you need to look into. Again, I'm not telling people what they got to do or anything, but nonetheless, I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for it to dip down just a little bit more, and then, you know, like for instance, like if I can get that down to like maybe a little over 15 cents, or just rate at like, you know, I don't know. I might just take advantage of it now. It just depends. I mean, but nonetheless, yeah, around 15, 16 cents. I mean, that's just, I don't know, man, that could really, really do some awesome things. And I mean, not that long ago, it was like 30 cents. And then just, as far as short-term day trading, I will state this. I don't, you know, this is not something like I would get into as far as like compared to like I guess you could say like how your play on Zilliqa, right? Where you just like, you know, one day you get in it, and you know, a few days later you wait for it to go up a few cents and do the swing trading. Chili's is not that type of approach I'm going to do. Chili's is literally like I just mentioned, you know, picking up a bag for what is that, like 15, 16 cents, holding it like I would say maybe, I don't know, 2 to 3 months past the World Cup event, just because a little bit more of the adoption, if you will, and see where it goes from there. But there you have it. So
Tron, scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how you feel about it.
On how I feel on Tron, not as like 9 or whatever, you know, or 10 is like, you know, Chili's and Cronus. I would say I feel like maybe 7, possible 8 on that one.
Okay.
And I might have to quote myself again on that, because I mean, it's just more like looking at the history. Again, the whole supply and demand thing. Before, they have more than the supply, but they didn't have the demand. And what I mean by that is those two things have to come into play. You know, what stood out with Tron for me, obviously, was BTT, you know, BitTorrent, for instance, and some other projects. But it was just kind of flat for most of all last year for the most part. There wasn't a lot going on. Now they got a lot going on. That USDD stablecoin thing with Near Protocol and them being tied into all that's tremendous. And that adoption is clearly coming. It's going to come strong, because then you do have the big whales who sold their position, right? And now they want to earn interest. And then you have that. And if you have just, you know, the general public finding out more about these things, then the two come into play. And then I don't know. You're just going to see they're due. I'm just going to say that they are more than due, and that's what has definitely caught my eye.
So if anybody else is watching the stream either now or on record, and you're invested in Tron or Chili's, and you have a good feeling about it, and you know a lot about it, maybe you're somebody on YouTube or Twitter that talks about it, we would love to have you come on the show. I don't know if anybody, like a development team is going to come from a large cap token. I mean, maybe prove me wrong. Go back to them and talk, or go to your communities and see who is an expert on Tron or somebody that likes to talk about it besides Max. Max is very knowledgeable, looks like, on these two, Tron and also Chili's. We'd love to have someone else's opinion come on or tell us a little bit more, or share, see if you agree with what Max feels. But, this is what it's about, guys. If you know anybody that is into these two, you're welcome to come on. If you're a viewer and you like them, you can come on. It doesn't matter. This is what the show is about. So I appreciate that, Max. Where do you want to move on from here? Where do you want to go from here as far as what you'd like to talk about?
I would like to make a couple more announcements. I mean, I know I mentioned just briefly in regards to Tron and so on, but I did bring up the Near protocol. So there was a big announcement in regards to that. This is straight from, of course, Investor Place, and it says basically that Near sees a surge in the number of wallets thanks to what is quote unquote their Move to Earn project. And basically what they're stating is, they refer to Near as a sweat coin project. Basically, it rewards users for quote unquote sweating, which basically means moving, and has led to a massive spike in Near wallets created. On May 4th alone, listen to this. This is what's significant, right? Yeah, Near costs more than, the average meme coin token project. But listen to this. On May 4th alone, only 4 days ago, over 500,000 new accounts were created. Just take a moment on that. You know what I mean? And then looking at Near as we speak, if you could actually pull them up.
Sure.
It's, more expensive, but all right. So we got, Larry's going to pull Near up for you guys.
What's the,
it's just ending there. Yeah, it's just ending. Yeah, okay. So there it is. And then last night, that was down to like 10 something. I mean, it's of course gone up, but I mean, again, the volume. We were just talking about Tron, for instance. We were just talking about US, Double D. Look at that, 87% up in the volume. Again, guys, if you look into all the stuff about this, like, we're not going to be one of those channels, or I should say shows, in which, like, we try to make things boring for you, where, you turn in, it's like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and it's freaking Ben Stein, and it's like, and now we're looking at Near Protocol, and it's up 10%. No, who wants to watch that? But at the end of the day,
who's that? That's Ben Stein over there?
No, that's a bad impersonation of Ben Stein. But the point is, we're not going to be sitting there just looking at. Yeah, we're not going to make it boring just looking at grass. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, like I've always said, and that is, when in doubt, follow the money. And that's what I basically do. When you have things like Near protocols paired with, US Double D, and then who's behind US, Double D stablecoin? Like, for the average person, they don't know what US Double D stablecoin is. They think that I'm like misquoting myself. But, again, it's like, when in doubt, follow the money, put two and two together, follow the, the dotted lines and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, you could kind of piece things together. It gives you an idea of what the heck is going on. And when I see things like this posted, like, 500,000 new wallets in one day, 500,000 new wallets. Are you kidding? What if you had, I'm not bashing Saitama because I'm personally invested in Saitama. Can you imagine if Saitama, right? Totally, I know apples and oranges comparison, but can you imagine if Saitama had 500,000 new holders, or 500,000 new people signed up for SataMask? Wow. What do you think is going to happen to Saitama? You get what I'm saying?
It's going to go crazy.
So, this is $11 a freaking coin. I get it. It's expensive, but it's just worth looking into. Not financial advice, but that's just the way I look at it. I piece all this stuff together. Even before I, was co-host with Larry, my hobby is just, I haven't been doing much of the gaming. I mean, I originally started off as, on my other channel with a gaming channel for 2.5 solid years, but just that. Ended up getting over 7,200 subscribers and stuff like that. But my passion became crypto because what? I got bit by the crypto bug. And what I mean by that is, late January 2021, $300 investment into Dogecoin and turn that into 22K. And then $8,000 investment in Shiba Inu, turn that into 88K. $1,700 investment into Kronos, turn that into 10,000. Now it sounds like I'm bragging and stuff like that, but the point is, it all started off with my Dogecoin investment. I got bit by the crypto bug, and ever since that happened, I've been hooked, and I've been wanting to research more and more and more about different projects, not just, of course, you know, the meme/community-driven projects, but also some of these other ones that are in the top 10 or top 20, top 50, top 100. So
I'll tell you what, you know, this is what we'll do. He asked the question. I'm going to let you answer it in a second, Max, but I'm going to put this out there so that they can go back to the telegrams and stir up Phantom again. If Phantom signs 10 YouTubers, if 10 YouTubers start talking about Phantom and I can see the proof of it, I will purchase another $1,000 of Phantom. I'll jump back into Phantom and I'll do it live on the live stream so everybody can look at the wallet. And that's my challenge to them. If this might light the fire, it just popped in my head. Maybe I can make it more than 1,000, but let's just start small. We'll start with $1,000. If they go out and prove to me that they've negotiated with 10 different YouTubers and they're on board, they're going to start talking about, if they're going to start talking about Phantom at least once a week, I will come on and purchase. I'll jump back into Phantom. I'll purchase $1,000 and I'll go beyond that. I'll actually stake it. I don't know exactly what the terms of the staking, but I'll go ahead and stake it for as far as I can. But that's the challenge to them. Let's see if we can light the fire again and help those that are still invested, like Jack. And I believe that Common Sense is invested in it. And also Kingsman, he changed his name to Phantom Man or whatever it is. So let's just see here. So, all right, Max, go ahead and answer the question, but be careful how you answer it. It's up on the screen.
Yeah, so he says, you know, Jackie says, since you already hold Saitama, would you put 1,000 to Phantom or Saitama today? You know, that's a very good question, and I'll give you a straight answer on that. And the answer would be Saitama, mainly because the way I look at it is they have more of a proven track record. Some people will be like, man, you're nuts. Like, there's people flooding the hell out of the project, say the mask doesn't fully work, there's bugs, et cetera, et cetera. My answer to that is they got too many different things going on that are still positive as far as my outlook on it. I mean, the onboarding of other projects and so on. I think the commission definitely helps the overall Saitama project, and especially since that's backed by gold. I do see Saitama eventually being something in which the bugs and kinks and everything are going to be worked out. And again, you're going to see the adoption behind it. At the end of the day, I think people lose focus of their vision, and I think they lose focus about how innovative Saitama is trying to be, like a game changer, if you will, in crypto. You got to keep in mind, they're still trying to be like the ones that set themselves apart from everyone else. I was on another AMA. Yeah, it was an AMA. I was on, I forgot what project it was, but I just kind of like dropped into some other AMA with some like new token project. And, I didn't ask, it was like somebody from the live stream asked this project. They said, what sets you guys, kind of like what I asked, what was it? The guys just came on not that long ago. Sorry. Archie. It wasn't Archie, but it was a different project. And then they were asked, what sets you guys, apart? And their answer was, well, it wasn't just the staking, but it was kind of like the rewards, right? Well, okay, that sounds great and all, but you guys aren't doing anything innovative compared to like Saitama. And that's what still stands out. At some point, there's still going to be enough that is going to pound that home, in which it's not just going to be like, have the supply and demand, if you will. It's just, again, the whole pressure cooker concept, if you will. They only have all-time highs once. They still have a lot. Like, what is it, 330,000 holders? They're still bringing in holders every day. They get some of this stuff worked out. Maybe possibly the V2, like Larry was always talking about. It's just things that make sense. I'm not a big fan of V2 migration. I'm just going to throw that out there. But if it makes sense with Saitama, you got to do that, then you got to do that. But at the end of the day, all those things I'm mentioning, the only thing I see with Phantom, and again, I never was invested to it, and I'm probably not going to, is this whole social media platform. And I am going to introduce you guys. I'm not going to tell you what it is right now. I'll have to get with Larry, but sometime either tomorrow or maybe sometime next week, I will show you guys another project that's basically like Phantom, but on a bigger scale. So
Well,
it is what it is.
With that, just welcoming everyone that just joined us. Duhas has been here for a while. I'm probably pronouncing his screen name wrong, but he says Doge was a gateway crypto for me too, man. He's responding to Max there. And then, Max responds to him. And then Crypto Junkie, I got to read this comment on there. He says, Phantom is garbage. Don't waste your money. So, I don't want to bash the project, but, it's just a funny one that you're making a comment here. Trying and failing miserably. Well, they just can't get out of their own way. I think it's just a very simple thing. I've already offered to stir the pot up again because I have I'm one of the big influencers in Telegram, but I don't even go there anymore. There's 3 people that are invested in this project. They've already gone through and staked. They're doing their part to try to get this project off the ground, but they need to hurry up and sign some YouTubers. I can't keep saying it anymore. It's not stripper money. This is what we need to do. I've already, I'm going to add something else to it. I'm going to buy $1,000 worth of Phantom. I'm going to jump back in and say something that I'm going to go back in and do against my own word, say I would never go back in. But if it means to light the fire to get these people to get off their yachts, to get off their golf carts, the shady trees that are sitting under the apple tree, whatever they're doing, and start hiring some of these YouTubers. They proved to me that they've signed 10 different YouTubers. They're going to talk about Phantom at least once a week. I will come on stream and I will endorse. I will say that it's a great thing, and I will that they've signed the YouTubers, they're doing the marketing, and they're jumping into the market well, and I'll buy $1,000. I'll get back into Phantom that way. So you can go and spread that amongst the Telegram group, and maybe that'll light the fire under the devs to start using the marketing wallet.
But just to add to that real quick, Larry, I mean, yeah, I wasn't into Phantom, and I didn't know about it as much as you did and so on. But the thing is, they lit the fire as far as, the pre-sale goes, and that's why a lot of people got into it. I think it's safe to say. So you light that fire, but then you don't hire or do proper marketing to follow that up. I mean, it's just like throwing water all over the fire as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. I'm not going to comment too much on that, but to me, it's just some basic things. It's just I didn't see with that project. So,
whether the chart, let's see what the chart looks like. If the chart is just flat, like it probably is, I don't even have to look at it. Let me just see here. Right. So we got Phantom Project. Well, you know what? The volume actually has picked up a little bit. So they're at value. The volume is now at 34,000. So kudos to them. When I checked it yesterday, it was like 8,000. So they got a little more volume, but the market cap has dropped. So that might mean people are selling off. Yesterday, if you remember on the show, I said that the market cap, according to Dex Tools, was at a little over $2 million. Now it's down to 1.83. So hopefully people are not selling off their bags. That might be what's going on. I mean, right now it's currently down 7.73. So I guess the volume in this case is not so great. It means that people are selling off and losing confidence. So again, if I can do my part and buy $1,000 on the stream, but they got to do their part. Look, they've got $3 million. I don't have $3 million. If I had $3 million, I'd put a bunch of money into Phantom and help out the chart, but I'm not in that position. So, whatever I can do to I don't see why people need to go in there and shake the dev team and say, guys, wake up, wake up, wake up. What are we doing? Okay, that's great. You've made a big deal with, a marketing firm, but it doesn't take a marketing firm to tell you that the thing that you need to do is sign the YouTubers and the Twitter people. Like, I don't want to wake up Patches. He's just relaxing here, but he's going to start getting excited because I'm getting excited, and I'm just frustrated because why is it that the only people I see in Telegram, when I go in there and just look at it for 2 seconds, I see the same people that are in this chat that are subscribed to this channel and following this channel. They're telling them what to do or asking them what's going on. Where are the devs? Where are the devs? Where are the devs? And it shouldn't be like that. They need to be proactive and not, just sitting on their hands. Okay, so here, we got a Phantom that we're talking about. In case you're wondering, Duhas is the Phantom with a P, not the Phantom with an F. It's the one that just launched the other day. I don't know if it was April 30th or whatever. We got into the pre-sale. I feel like it was oversold. And we're talking about that one. So B-Rise, Common Sense B-Rise staking is interesting. Jack says, did any YouTubers get views on Phantom Project? I'm seeing random fan TikTok videos for free with 10x views. Okay, so, I'm not on the TikTok platform too much. I know that Teddy Ganja got at least, the last time I checked, 800 views on his AMA. That's a good amount of views for the size of his platform. I know I got over 500 views on my AMA before I shut it down. pissed me off on Telegram. I ripped off my my videos on Phantom. So there's that, and it is what it is. I mean, you need either an army of small YouTubers or, some big ones or all the above. So Patches, yes, Patches is a pit boxer. He's a boxer pit bull mix. And then we got Selmo, right? He says Cronus chain is growing big cojones. I like the way he says that. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with out here in this DeFi space. So what do you think, Max? I'll take the screen. Wait a minute here. TikTok is evil. Okay. Let's go back to this comment. So tell me, you guys already know how I feel about Crow. It's going to be a force to reckon with. Do you think, like, for example, Max, that Crow can compete with BNB? Is Crow going to be something that we're going to look at, a year from now, and we're going to, see it up with the BNB?
I would say 100% yes. I don't know necessarily if it's going to be like at the end of this year, but I would definitely say there's enough evidence to show that within 5 to 6 years, I know it sounds like a while, but in reality, it's not that long. Okay. I would say there's enough evidence to show within 5 to 6 years, yes, the market cap up there with that. For me, Kronos is a retirement account, man. You got to look at is a retirement account because it literally is. I mean, you can Kronos itself. I mean, we're talking like generational wealth, not just for yourself, but like your kids' kids and so on. As long as you're not dumb about it, and you want to talk about a hodl. I mean, you should just, of course, take profits off the top. I get it, but at the same time, for me personally, I'm not going to be selling my whole bag. I'm just telling you flat out, I'm not. I'm staking and continue to stake. Pay attention to which ones you stake on because there's different networks. So for me, I think I'm like on Chromium. I use the. By the way, guys, for instance, if you're new to crypto or you're new to our show, so on the native app of Crypto.com, I think currently it's like 5 or 6% is the staking rewards. If you move that to the DeFi app, you're literally going to earn like 5% more or sometimes even double what you're staking on the Crypto.com app. I haven't checked the Crypto.com app to see what the native staking is, but a long while back, right? I moved my Kronos from the native app to the DeFi app because at the time it was literally double on the staking rewards. So if you don't know about that, it's something you want to look into. Again, they're two separate apps. So if you already have the Crypto.com app, you don't have the DeFi app, look into the DeFi app. As far as how to do that, how to move it, there's plenty of YouTube videos on exactly how to do that step by step. I highly recommend you take a look into that. So,
well, we might have, when I get off here, I might have to take a look at Kronos again. I don't want to. I mean, it seems like every day, 3 days in a row, I'm buying more because I'm like, well, is it going to go any lower? Is it going to go any lower? Maybe not. And now I'm looking at it right now, and it's at 25 cents. I just bought some. What was it yesterday at 26? So
yeah, I mean, Siri made a penny. Yeah, it's just Kronos is like a no-brainer. I mean, they're killing it. Man, I wish I could bring it up right now, but there's a guy who I follow. We should get his name. Maybe you guys already know who he is. He's actually around the subscriber count is you, Larry, right? I think it's like roughly around 7,000. He covers Kronos all the time. He's Irish. He's got a great person. I forgot the guy's name, but anyway, he covers Kronos all the time, and he's very eloquent about how he covers it. And the cool thing is this: he brings up these charts, right? And he shows the history behind the history like a few years ago, and then current what's going on with it. He compares BNB with Kronos, and all you see on Kronos is this steady day by day, increase, right, of amount of holders, and who are continuing to hold their position. And on BNB, you see this thing in which there's so many people getting out of it consistently, day by day. What do you think is going to eventually happen? That market cap is going to go down. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing BNB or anything like that. Binance is still the biggest player out there. But when it comes to math and if this continues, right, who's the one that's like killing it with the marketing compared to Binance? Have you seen any Binance commercials or anything like that? I get it. Hey, some people are going to say, "Well, Max, you don't know what you're talking about because that's mainly focused on European and Asian markets." Okay, I get where you're coming from. However, looking at some of those charts, it just makes sense. The overall market cap on that, yes, there's enough evidence. It's not just that guy's channel. Man, tons of other influencers, not even influencers, just people who, what was it like? I think the Motley Fool covered it. I don't know, Yahoo Finance. I could go on and on. I mean, there's a significant amount of evidence to show that in a 5 to 6 year play, they will not have only bypassed BNB, but they will have surpassed it. Market cap will be way up there. I know it sounds like a crazy price prediction. For me personally, I wouldn't be too surprised. And again, not financial advice, so don't come back at me at this. I hate to be that one of those guys that's like, oh, this is gonna 10x, 100x, 1000x. But I will state this on Chronos. I wouldn't be surprised in 5 to 6 years. That price you see on BNB where it's like over 400 something. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Chronos at $300 to $400 a coin. We're talking generational wealth.
You think so?
Yeah, I absolutely, yes.
Well, I mean, the way I'm looking at it here, I'm looking at the market cap. We've got a $6 billion market cap, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions. Yeah, 6 million.
I realize there's a lot of things that have to happen with that. We got to get back way past that $3 trillion overall crypto market cap. We got to have Bitcoin and Ethereum back. I get it. All those things are factors. I'm just saying for the 5 to 6 year outlook, when all this stuff is going back on and things are looking a lot better and so on, could it go the other way? Yeah, absolutely. It could go the other way. I mean, things like, stupid, who Putin doing his dumb things, what he's doing, right? World War III could break out. Let's be honest. Everybody's focused on the whole thing with Ukraine, Ukraine, and rightfully so. Behind the scenes, you should also look into what's going on with China and Taiwan. That has been a thing that's been brewing long before the coverage that you've been seeing lately on the news. I'm not going to get into that whole thing, but let's face it. I mean, there's things that go on in the background that could affect everything. So, I mean, if cooler heads prevail, right, and stuff like that war goes away and things get back to normal, we don't have crazy pandemics or another 9/11 or it's just some stupid stuff that's going to affect the world economy, then yeah, realistically speaking, there's enough evidence to show that. Do your own research. Look for yourself. Don't just quote me because it's like, oh yeah, Max is saying it's going to go to the moon. I'm just one guy. But look at what other people are analyzing, not YouTubers. I want to throw that out. It's not just YouTubers who are covering that. It's literally like people that have been involved in finance and have backgrounds and been analyzing not just crypto, but stocks and stuff like that. Again, crypto is totally different from stocks, but I'm going to have myself. So back to you.
No, I mean, I share the same sentiment that a lot of people do, and you do too, about Chronos, crypto.com, just the whole company in general. I mean, you talk about just the basic thing, but marketing is the name recognition. Crypto.com, from the standpoint of the .com being the biggest as far as the domain name extensions, you can't beat the name. So it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard not to put your faith in crypto.com. So this is something that we're looking at here. People are definitely dropping a lot of good comments, guys. If you just joined us, we really appreciate you joining us and spending part of your Mother's Day. Shout out and hello and a thank you to all the moms out there. We appreciate you guys spending time with us. You're talking live here with the Max and Larry show. Special guest, Patches the dog, wanted to join us. And basically, he's, his job is to take a nap. So here we are over on the screen here, and I'll just share the screen. And you can see here that the price of Crow is dropping. I'm kind of happy about it because it gives us all a chance to get more of it. Not financial advice, but it just seems like that $6 billion market cap, it almost seems undervalued, and it's just hard to imagine. But let's just move on to some of the other questions. What do you guys think of Matic? So Matic is another one, that I hold on to, and for the long term.
Right, same here. I have a bag of Matic as well, aka Polygon. That's what that is.
Yep. And then also here, I think they are burning Chronos, but I'm not an expert as far as the burning goes with Chronos. Do you know anything about that, Max?
Yes, the burns are very significant, and that's another thing. I don't know. Maybe I could just look up the guy or something. If I find out who that guy is, not to like, always recommend other channels and so on. But at the end of the day, if somebody's doing a better job of showing like technical analysis compared to myself, I don't do the whole thing with graphs and
Yeah, I mean, we're
whatnot.
all in this together. Why
Yeah,
don't we do this? Why
why
don't we
would
reach
I?
out? Why don't we
Right.
reach out and see if we can get them to come on?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Talk about
yeah,
Pro.
yeah, absolutely. So with that said, I mean, maybe we'll do something like that. But I mean, the guy is pretty like he pounds it home, and he has it to back it up. Like, I just got to find out who the guy is and what his name is. I just forgot. I just know he's Irish, and let's face it, a lot of Irish people sound pretty cool anyway. But beside the point, yeah, I mean, he does mention the whole thing with the burns. I just want to state that, and it's not just him. There's other influencers. I don't know if it was on Motley Fool. I'm not too keen on them anyway, because a lot of times like they act like they're for crypto, and the other times they don't, and it's just like, well, what is it? But anyway,
So I'm going to run through the comments real quick. We're a little behind with the comments, and I'm just catching
sorry.
up to make sure everyone. No, it's fine. Just want to make sure everyone feels appreciated in the audience. That's the main thing. Common sense says, I feel like B Rise is the same as Crow. Retirement Max says, will you look at it? Tell me next show. Okay, so we can look a little bit closer into that. I do have a small bag of B Rise, but I'm not an expert, and Max will look into it. B Rise is better than Crow or BNB. I don't know about that one. I don't think I can agree on that, but that's okay. Appreciate your sentiment on that one. Putin outsmarted our leadership. Russian dollar skyrocketed. He checkmated the United States. Okay, so that's Jack's opinion on that. We won't get too political here, but if you want to comment on that, Max, you can. Well, Ethereum, I'm big on too, but I have concerns about ETH. So here's my concern about ETH. My concern about ETH is just the speed and the cost of the network. I mean, if you got something crazy going on with ApeCoin, they're selling a whole bunch of land, NFTs, whatever it is, high priced things, and gas fees are $800 or $900. It kind of kills off the small retail investor that's interested in DeFi. It kind of opens up the door to like Matic and Chronos, and some of these other blockchain platforms, maybe Shibarium. We'll see what happens. Bitrise, he's going to check it out. I can definitely look more into it. Comment says, I appreciate your professional insight, Max. Oh, we got here. So B-Rise surpassed Solana. I'm not sure. But, Max is going to check into it. Max is more of a technical guy. I'm not talking about technical analysis, but he'll, kind of pick apart a project and we'll bring it to the platform and talk about it. Let's see. Cody Core says, look at it. Okay, it has the potential to do better. We'll reserve. I'll kind of hold back my opinion. Right now, my gut feeling is it's not going to be bigger than BNB or Chronos, but we'll take a look at it. So Duha says Russian skyrocket. He rise 100,000 per second transaction. All right. Well, we'll have to.
I don't know about the whole Russian ruble skyrocketing. I mean, not that I'm discounting you, man. I mean, I don't know.
So Common Sense says there's no gas fee. So you know what? Let's do that. We want to talk about B-Rise a little bit tomorrow when we have more time offline, Max. We can do that.
Well, I mean, so hold on a second. I got an itch on my ear. So for instance, I mean, we somebody brought up the whole thing like if we're into Matic, aka Polygon, I hold a big on that. Unfortunately, when I got into Polygon, I was thinking, like a lot of us, that a lot of these projects were going to go up in value and so on, and things like the major crypto crash of late January, early February happened, and then there was the whole Russia-Ukraine war, and it's just like, man, I saw Polygon just go way down the Matic. But that doesn't mean that I feel like, man, this is just going to go to hell in a handbasket and there's going to be no recovery for Matic. I do definitely see it going the other way because they got too many things going on with their smart contracts, with, man, countless different projects just in general. I mean, cross-bridge platforms, certain deals they have with this project and that project, and it's just, at the end of the day, why does Polygon exist to begin with? Well, one of the things that definitely stand out is it's a great alternative to what? Ethereum. And it's like lightning quick. I mean, look at like XRP, it's lightning quick. And when I think of like the two, I think of like XLM, Stellar Lumens. If you don't know about Stellar Lumens, you definitely need to look into that. But those three stand out for me. Polygon, XLM, and of course XRP. Now, I'm not going to get into XRP other than the risk to reward ratio. But anyway, back to what you were saying in regards to all this, not having the gas fees and so on. I mean, yeah, I want to look into that. Now, I need to look into more research as far as if BRISE, on the transactional side of it. I mean, does it compete with like a Matic, common sense, as far as, super fast transactions, like Western Union and on steroids or whatever. I mean, that's something I have to look more into. So
let me just stop you there just for 1 second, because I gotta just, I have to plug this channel or the mission that we have here. We're trying to be a big impact. Guys, do me a favor. This is your show, okay? It's more your show than Max and mine. But the title of the show is Crypto Talk Now, right? Live with Max and Larry. But look, the show belongs to you guys. Would you guys come together and do me a favor, please? Go back into the community. I don't know if you've been in the Telegram for BRISE. Would you go into BRISE and see if we can get somebody that's educated on the subject, or if you guys want to come on yourself? We would love to have the opinions come on. Like if you want to get the devs on here, I don't know if they would come on, but it doesn't have to be a dev. It could be a computer. It can be a community leader. It could be a mod. It could be somebody that is just excited about BRISE, and just have them come on here, even if they want to make a cameo appearance for 5 minutes and tell us how great BRISE is, so that we can see, for ourselves, the enthusiasm, or just we could ask them a couple basic questions and find out what the key points are and what's making this project good. And also, we'll go and do our own research, but just reach out to the BRISE people and see who wants to come on here, because there's going to be a lot of different projects coming on here talking to us. There's no charge. We appreciate the donations and the super chats. There's no charge to come on during this stream itself. There's a charge if you want to have a dedicated AMA. That's a whole nother ball of wax, but we really appreciate it. Can you buy XRP? I have not personally bought XRP because of the situation.
I responded to that and I said, offhand, just the top of my head, KuCoin. If you get on KuCoin, you're going to exchange USDT for it. And then also Bitmart, you can get on Bitmart as well.
Okay, great. So
now, does that mean you're going to be able to earn staking rewards on Bitmart if you live in the United States? No, because you're a U.S. citizen and so on. Unfortunately not. Right now, as we speak, actually, back to Larry, I'm going to pull it up. There's a promotion, I believe, on Bitmart.
I think we rugged your audio.
Oh, sorry. While I'm looking this up on Bitmart, do it, whatever you're going to do. I believe there's a promotion. So for those who are outside the U.S., if you want to take advantage of a really good promotion in regards to XRP on Bitmart, I'm about to pull that up because I just literally saw it last night. And that's the thing that sucks. It's like Bitmart's got amazing promotion. Listen to this promotion from Bitmart. If you live outside the U.S., Algorand, right? So yesterday, Algorand had like a nice little pump. Listen to this. 100% APR on Algorand. I mean, it's just crazy. Gala. We were talking about Gala yesterday. 120% promotion on Bitmart. I mean, I know I sound like I'm a big fan of Bitmart. I actually am not, because I can't take advantage of the promotions, right? Because I'm a U.S. citizen. I believe I saw another one on here for XRP. If I'm not mistaken. I guess I didn't. But that's just the point I'm trying to make. Basically, I'm going to close this out. So with Bitmart, or not Bitmart, with XRP, I mean, you just got to be aware of some of the the staking and so on. So yeah, if you believe in XRP just based on like a lot of things were said, like for instance, there was that coverage about it. Like what was it about? I want to say early April, so about a month ago, right? So if you're familiar with Raoul Pal, for instance, he used to be a Goldman Sachs executive and so on, but the guy's obviously, converted to like being a top crypto advocate, if you will. And he has a lot of insight that makes sense about his outlook for things. He's been kind of spot on for the most part, not perfectly. And his attitude is again like mine, the risk to reward ratio. I mean, at any point, um, literally any point, I mean, you could see that thing become like $10. You know, I mean, it's just like, man. I mean, do you know of any other project of which, you know, it's like roughly 58 cents or something like that? That could literally go to $10, and then of course it could go higher than that. I mean, 100 and so on. Again, there's this one channel that they cover the legal side of that whole SEC lawsuit and so on, and you know, the deliberation back and forth from a legal perspective shows something about by August that should be closing, but it could drag off until what? Early next year, somewhere around, I don't know, March, maybe April. So let's say it's completely drags out to like March or April of next year. Why not try to, you know, fill up your bags on that while it's just tanking and tanking and tanking? Because if you believe in that risk to reward ratio, again, like Raul Paul said, it could go to zero. But if it didn't and it goes the other way, that is life-changing money, not financial advice. But that's the way I'm looking at it. That's absolutely the way I'm looking at it.
For sure. So, guys, we've been going for a while here. I just want to thank everyone again for joining us. I want to kind of wrap things up because I don't want to, you know, run out of things to talk about. I don't think we'll ever run out of things to talk about on the show, but we have a big show, big show tomorrow, guys. Tune in at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a big show. There's going to be a special announcement that we're going to make in the beginning of the show. It's about some other upcoming things that are coming on future shows. But at 9:30, there's going to be someone coming on here that is really big into Hex, and they're going to educate us more on Hex. Everybody, not just, you know, Max and I, but also everybody in the audience needs to tune in. If you want to learn more about Hex, they're coming in to talk about us. Also, I want to stress one more thing. This is the Low Impact channel. That's mission is to make a big impact in the crypto space, to keep people safe, to try to clean up the industry a little bit. We're going to try to do our part and vet projects better. But not only that, we want you guys to go out in the community. If you are passionate about a certain type of crypto project, a coin, a token, a pre-sale, pre-sales are really cool to learn about as well. Come back to us and tell us. If you want to be on the show, you can be on the show with your audio. You don't have to have your face, but also go into your communities and see if we can get some people on here that are educated on the subject you want to talk about. Max, with that, I'm going to let you have the final word, and then we'll just say goodbye to everybody on this Mother's Day.
Guys, everybody, thank you for tuning in as usual to Crypto Talk Now with Max and Larry. I'm Max. This is Larry. We realize it's Mother's Day, so shout out to all the mothers out there. Thank you also for taking the time on Mother's Day to even spend some time with us. It is more than appreciated. When we do say things that we're going to look into certain projects, like for instance, B-Rise and so on, Larry may be more familiar with it than I am. I will definitely take more of a look into it just to educate myself about it more. It doesn't necessarily mean I'll personally invest into it, but I definitely would like to educate myself more on hot topics that you guys are concerned with. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Please tune in tomorrow. You won't be disappointed in regards to that with everything that we have in store for you tomorrow. So I will go ahead and bring it back to Larry. Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you so much, guys. We're going to sign off. Guys, be safe out there. We'll see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.